Okay, so let's get started. Welcome everybody to, I've lost count, number 98, yes, of the Friday morning warm-ups. And we're going to be starting, as always, with a little bit of clapping. Nice easy one today. Okay, we've got a clapping pattern here. It's just one clap in each bar. And in the first bar, it's on beat 1. In the second bar, it's on beat 2. On the third bar, it's beat 3. And the fourth bar, it's beat 4. So you can do this. Well, I'm not going to suggest you do it intuitively. You might have to do a little bit of counting. If that's fairly straightforward for you, do stamp your feet as well and pat your head. So let's get the metronome going just for a minute then. Just going to be clapping on those particular beats. After 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. First one. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And stop. Okie dokie, there's a little bit of a clapping rhythm. Right, let's grab the instruments. And just to get things sounding, get the instruments sounding a little bit. We're on concert E minor, so let's just do, I'll do the note E. And you can do what's necessary to get your instrument and your fingers and your lungs going. These nice long notes. Or tune up. I hope I'm in tune. I think so. Okie dokie, I think that's about a minute. I don't think this egg time is very accurate. Right, okay, on to the chromatic scale. And so we're going to be starting on concert E. So it'll be F sharp for the B flat instruments and C sharp for the altos, the E flat instruments. So we're going to be going from the E. If you're a guitarist or a bass player, I'm starting on the 7th fret of the A string and then working my way up to the octave. Other instruments, I'm sure you can figure out where you're starting. So we're starting on concert E, and we're going to start at a nice steady tempo, just slowly up the scale. When you're playing any sort of scale during warm-ups and exercises, always try and get the best quality note you can, and go for a consistent sound as well from start to finish, so that all the notes sound like they're coming from the same kind of space, the same feeling, the same, so they've got the same quality, which is probably why it's best to start slowly, so that you actually can do that on all notes, because not all notes are as easy as the others. Here we go. After 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now down. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, let's do that again. And if you're on a stringed instrument, you might like to sing along to yourself. I can't hear you, so that will be okay. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I was having a trumpet lesson the other day, and the teacher was saying one way to practice scales is first of all to get the right note, just first note, then actually sing the scale on your own. I mean, it might not be great the first time, but sing the scale and then play it and see how accurate your singing was. And it will get better. And if you do that every time, so you just play the first note, then you sing the scale. Da, da, da. I mean, it doesn't have to be the chromatic scale, any scale, whatever, major scale, minor scale, whichever one you're working on. Sing it first, and then play it, and it's a good way of improving the ear and the coordination between your brain and your instrument. Let's do that same scale again, a little bit faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Let's do it a lot faster now that you've got all the notes under your fingers. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One last one. 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay, that's the chromatic scale for today. I wonder if I'm just going to turn my monitor off. Right, hopefully you can still hear me, and I'll just turn the monitor off, which I think was causing a little bit of echo. Okay, moving on to the exercise sheet now. So if you'd like to grab your sheet, I always say grab, don't I? Just pick up your sheet of paper or turn on your tablet so it's showing. And we're looking at minor scales, the minor scales. So we're going to do quite a few scales today. And we're also going to just work our way through what could be seen as the evolution of the minor scale. Where do they derive? Where does the harmonic minor scale come from? Where does the melodic minor scale come from? What's the difference? So it's going to be evolution in the sense that you know, nobody can put a date on when a mammal started to breathe through their lungs and give babies a birth without eggs. But and likewise, we can't really say when the harmonic minor specifically came in, but we can talk about how it evolved from earlier minor scales. This is all fairly crude. It's not like a history lesson. It's just a way of looking at the minor scales and understanding how they differ with a sort of kind of a historical perspective to give it a bit of sense. Now what we're going to start with is the first scale at the top there, which is actually the major scale that our minor scale derives from. So although we're talking about E minor, the relative major scale will be G major. So we're just going to start simply by playing that G major scale at the top there. Let's just do one octave going up, just the first two bars after 4, the relative major scale. So this is concert G major. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. very familiar sound. The fingering on for the guitarist might be a little bit. It goes off the instrument for basses. Unfortunately, I should have put it in a different position. But anyway, I'm sure you can figure out how to do that. One more time. So the G major scale. First two bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. All very familiar. Let's do the second two bars, descending. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, finger slipped. And again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do the whole top line now. So, all 4 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that's our major scale, and in terms of the degrees of the scale, you simply count from left to right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. First, the second, the third, and the fourth are in the first bar. The fifth, the sixth, the seventh are in the second bar. And there is an interesting thing here you might have come across, you might not have done, and that's the idea of the tetrachord. And each of those bars are the equivalent of a tetrachord, which is a 4-note portion of a scale. And every scale is made up of 2 tetrachords, and it's the first half and the second half. And the way it's shown in the bars there is you can see the first 4 notes, that is your first tetrachord, and the second 4 is the second tetrachord. And it's simply a sequence of notes going up in certain intervals. So just park that little idea, that's a tetrachord. Tetra means 4. It's not really chord as in a nice strummy chord, it's just 4 notes as a portion of a scale. So I will just refer to that every now and again, a tetrachord. So now, where does this relative minor comes from? Well, if you take the 6th degree of the major scale, so that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, into the second bar, 5, 6, you'll see in the key of G major, that is an E. Yeah, G, A, B, C, D, E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on the second line, we're going to do the relative minor, which is simply the G major scale, but starting on the 6th degree of that scale. You've probably all come across this before, so fairly straightforward. But if not, that's what we mean by the relative minor. It's sometimes also called the natural minor scale. So we're now onto the second line, and we're just going to play the natural minor scale, or the relative minor. So it's got all the same notes as G major, concert G, but of course we'll have a very different sound. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that again. So first 2 bars of the second line, and 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do the second 2 bars after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And just for completeness, let's play all 4 bars. So it's the second line, the relative minor or natural minor after 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the natural minor, concert E minor, and you could say it's just G major, but starting on the 6th degree, starting on the E. Some will also call it the Aeolian mode. So if you go back to these old modes, which are scales before we had major and minor, that is following the pattern of the Aeolian mode. It's another thing to think about. Right, now for reasons to do with perfect cadences, the Aeolian mode has a fairly weak perfect cadence. It's a minor chord on the 5th degree. Not something that's relevant to this particularly at the moment. I'm not going to explain all about why the perfect cadence is the way it is, but nevertheless, it has that very a fairly weak perfect cadence in a minor key. So what happens is they raise the somewhere back in time, they raised the 7th degree of the scale and gave a stronger perfect cadence. And it made the dominant chord, the 5th chord, a major chord rather than a minor. And what that means in terms of the scale is it means you sharpen the 7th and you end up with the harmonic minor scale. So the harmonic minor scale, which is the 3rd line down, if you like to look at that, you'll notice the only difference between that and the previous scale, the natural minor, is that the 7th degree of the scale, so that's the 3rd note in the 2nd bar, you'll see has been sharpened, raised by a semitone, and it's that gives us a major dominant chord. But we're just interested in the scale, so if you're interested in that side of it, look up harmonic minor scale and perfect cadences. Just think of it as a scale, a natural minor with a raised 7th. So we're now going to do the harmonic minor scale. And it's got a very different sound. So we're going to do the first 2 bars of the 3rd line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's just slow that down a little bit so you've got time to think and listen to it. But you probably heard that raised leading note there. The leading note is the last note but 1, the 7th degree, before we get back to the tonic. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's always good if you want to make something sound a little Eastern or Oriental, use the harmonic minor scale. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do the descending harmonic minor scales. It's just the same thing in reverse. So we're on the bars 3 and 4 of the 3rd line. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Messed that up. And again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do the whole harmonic minor scale now. So all 4 bars. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. again. 2, 3, 4. That's got a different sound to the natural minor. Notice it's got the same first tetrachord. There you go. First 4 notes are the same. That's a minor tetrachord because it's got the minor third in it and makes it a minor scale. But it's the second tetrachord which is different, and that's the case with all these minor scales we're doing today. It's only the second tetrachord which differs. And because the first and fourth notes of the second tetrachord, hope you're following, are the same in each case, the fifth and the root, it's the middle two that change. So it's only the second and third note in the second bar that's going to be differing in our different scales. So we've just changed the seventh there, which is the third note of the second bar. Oop, I can tell it's getting a little too many numbers. Let's just play the harmonic minor scale left to right one more time with its raised seventh. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the seventh. Okay. That scale has got an unusual interval between the sixth and the seventh. It's a minor third. Georgia, which is makes it a little bit difficult to sing. So it might make it sound good in terms of the chords, but a little bit difficult to sing. So somewhere back in time, in evolution of the minor scales, somebody said, how about raising the sixth to close that gap? It'll make the gap between the fifth and the sixth an extra semitone, but that's okay because it's only one semitone away. So we have a raised sixth and a raised seventh, and that is the melodic minor scale. So on to the next line. So if you think about your harmonic minor scale, which has got the raised seventh, we had that big gap between the sixth and the seventh, the interval of a minor third. Close the gap by raising the sixth, and you get the melodic minor scale. And clues in the name, it's more melodic. It's less to do with harmony, chords, it's more to do with melody, easier to sing. So let's play the first 2 bars of the melodic minor scale. After 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can see that raised sixth. And again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. However, that second tetrachord, if you play it in reverse, sounds like a major scale on the melodic minor. So I'm just playing the second bar in reverse, in other words, descending. So somewhere back in time, I don't know who, but they decided, rather than coming down the melodic minor scale using the same notes, come down using the natural minor. So it still sounds like a minor scale. Like magic, isn't it? So the melodic minor scale, if it's ascending, is played as we've just played it, but when it's descending, or the melody's descending, you play the natural minor. Okay, so some of you may have done this in your lessons and theory practice and so on before. A melodic minor ascending is as we've just done. Descending, as written on the screen in front of you, with a natural 6th and 7th, which is like the natural minor. So let's play the descending one. We've done it before because it's the natural minor. So we're doing bars 3 and 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's play the melodic minor ascending and the natural minor descending. So but playing the whole line as written. Melodic minor. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it still sounds wonderfully naturally minor. Here we go again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's the melodic minor scale. Just a note here for people who play jazz music and sometimes might include a bit of melodic minor improvising in their playing. Jazz musicians tend to play the melodic minor scale when descending the same as the ascending scale. This is more to do with the improvising over chord tones, so that they still match the chords that they're improvising over. And it's sometimes called the jazz minor, just to differentiate it from the, shall we say, classical melodic minor. But plenty of jazz. So if it's in a jazz context and they say melodic minor, they're actually talking about the same going up and down. But in general jazz theory, in general music theory and classical music, the descending melodic minor is, as shown on the sheet there, the natural minor. Right, must move on because obviously there's extra chat going on this time because it's the first time I've done this. But let's move on to the next scale. Then you'll have lots of different. You warm up on a different scale every morning. Okay, now this isn't an evolution from the previous one. It's something that's picked out of the air, the Dorian scale. Strictly speaking, it's the Dorian mode, but it is a minor sounding scale. But it has a raised 6th, but a natural 7th. So that's the other way around. Okay, so we're just going to do the Dorian scale. If anyone needs to go, because this is obviously going to overrun a little bit, do just go when you need to go. But so we're now looking at the Dorian scale. Again, it's used in melodies over minor chords. So let's just play the Dorian scale as shown there. First 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's got a flattened 7th as opposed to the major 7th that the last 2 have had. But it's got a raised 6th, so that makes it different to the natural minor. So in terms of the natural minor, it's just got a raised 6th. Let's do that again. Dorian scale, first 2 bars. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the descending. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. I didn't move. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do the whole thing, the whole line, the Dorian scale, up and down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there you go. There's 4 minor scales there. There are others, but these are the 4 which start with the same 4 notes, the same opening tetrachord, and it's just the second tetrachord, second bar, that varies. The 6th and the 7th are either both raised, both natural, or you raise the 7th, or you raise the 6th and 7th, or you raise only the 6th. That's all the permutations possible. So 4 scales there. And when we come to the strumming in a couple of minutes time, you can use any of those scales over the chords to see what they sound like, or just pick one and perhaps just improvise with that if you'd like to, or just strum the chords and do it that way, or play a bass line if you're a bass player. Okay, well, we better move on. We've got some natural minor, some minor phrases here, and so we're just going to do these. Just won't spend too long on these because they're right. So we'll just do that first one and a natural minor phrase. So each of these phrases is based over each one of the 4 minor scales that we've just done. So the first one is using notes from the natural minor. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I swung that. If you like to swing it a little bit, and again, 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's loop that. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, so now onto the harmonic minor, and not the same phrase, but you'll see that it's got a sharpened 7th there, that first note. So that's the thing that distinguishes it. So let's do that. Second bar, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1. And again, 1. Let's loop that. 2, 3, 4, 1. Last time. Yes, it's got all those harmonic minor notes which give it that slightly Eastern sort of phrase. Okay, on to the third one, and this is a melodic minor phrase. So you can see that going up, it's got those sharpened notes. Coming down, they've been flattened, and that's what tends to happen with melodic minor phrases. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oops, that was a mistake. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That was better. I think I hit a wrong note there. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's loop it. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Oh, that's a tricky one there. I don't know how you got on with that one, but it's those changing ups and downs which make it difficult. But okay, and just on to a Dorian phrase, Dorian scale phrase now. Last one on the sheet. 1, 2, last 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Just loop that. 2, 3, 4. Last time. Oh, good sight reading practice as well. Okay, good. I hope that's given you a little idea of the differences between these minor scales and how it all focuses around what the 6th and the 7th note of the scale are doing, and that's where that gives you an idea of what the names are for as well. The harmonic minor scale because of the change to the harmony in terms of the dominant 7th and the perfect cadences. The melodic minor scale because it's easier to basically sing, and the Dorian scale, well, that's another thing altogether. Okay, we'll crack on, and let's just finish off then with the strumming bit. I've just put onto the screen there a nice straightforward minor chord progression. It's sometimes known as the Spanish progression because it's used a lot in Spanish songs and folk songs and so on. And you can pick one of those scales if you like and just practice making little melodies or improvising over these chords, and see what your ear says. Okay, let me just get ready. Okay, we'll just do this for the last minute or so, or you can just do what you like over this bit. You've been doing this often enough to know what you like doing. Here we go. I'm going to do 2 bars on each chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Last time, here we go. Finish on the E minor. And there we have it, the minor scales. Okay, so that's the first one of that particular kind, and I'd be interested to hear if anyone had any thoughts about that. Do email me, email me, and also if you've got any ideas about other subjects we can cover in these Friday morning warm-ups, along the similar lines to what we have been doing, but maybe a different aspect. And always happy to receive ideas. And as I say, it will be something different next week, but we will come back to the minor scales in a future one. Okay, let's call it a day. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming along. And nice to see you all, as always. And if you'd like to unmute yourselves and say goodbye, that will be wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dave. That was great today.
Bye, everybody.